Hey friends, welcome to the Art Barn. I think I'm going to be recording just a few thoughts about creativity and talking about my own creative process, because this is where the magic happens. And that's kind of why I love it, because it is, not perfect. It is far from perfect, and it reminds me that it's okay for the things that I'm creating to not be perfect. I get stuck sometimes wanting things to be perfect before I share them with the world, and what is perfect? I mean, what does it even look like when it's perfect? I think we all have these visions in our mind, at least those of us who are creating new things, of what we hope it will be, or the potential, its grandest potential once it launches out into the world. And the reality is, very rarely do things look as grand, at least in the first iteration. The whole thing with being a creative person or a creator or anyone who's making something new is sometimes the first version is not anywhere near perfect, but it is a step in that direction. It's something, whereas before you had nothing. And I think that if we cannot get bogged down in those expectations of what it's supposed to look like, or what it might be, or what we hope it will become, and we just let it evolve in time, and we be patient with ourselves and be patient with the idea. I really think ideas are a lot like seeds. They start as this little package of potential, but in and of itself, that is nothing. It is still nothing, even when the seed is there. And even when we plant the seed, if we don't constantly nurture it and water it and help it grow, it's a constant process of change. And so we have to be willing to invest in the process. And that's the only way we'll ever end up with something, is by showing up in those early stages of the creative process and watering our seeds. That's what I do every day. I show up here in this space that I've created. I've created space, I've created time, I have ideas, which are my seeds, and I have the intention to show up every day and do something that's going to water them or nurture them or help them reach their potential as they grow into whatever it is they're going to become. So I've spent a lot of time helping other people create things, and so often people who have ideas, they come to me for help, which I love, but then they want me to do all of the watering for them. And I realize that there's only so much other people can water our ideas. Like, we have to show up for our own ideas. Yeah, we have to show up for our own ideas if they're ever going to stand a chance of becoming something. Showing up for our ideas means showing up for ourselves, for our creative selves, the parts of us that do have ideas, that want to make the world a better place, or at least make our lives better, or make your neighborhood better, or your families. I think all ideas are born from dissatisfaction somewhere. There's a lot of dissatisfaction in the world right now, and there are a lot of opportunities to create something new. And I'm really intent on creating tools that are going to help more people create more things, better things, because I think that as more people create better things, things will be made better. And if that can happen faster, that is better. So that's the whole reason for all of this, is to help more people make more things so they can make it better, make things better, and do it all faster. Yeah, if I can help make that happen, maybe everything I'm creating will be worth something to someone. If I can help somebody and their creative process a little easier by sharing the things I know, why not? And why wouldn't I? I think that's another thing, like the technology and the design skills, maybe that's a barrier for some people, the fact that they don't quite know how to take the reins, and maybe the same way that I am blessed to be able to take my own creative reins and drive my creative projects. Yeah, if I can help empower people to have some of those tools themselves so that they can feel empowered and feel like they're a designer, feel like they're a creator, because I truly do believe that we're all creators. We all have a unique perspective of this world and of these lives, and I just feel like a lot of people don't feel empowered to create something new or even to make a change. I think we have so many default settings that we're offered in life, and maybe people feel like that's just it. What they have is what they get. and it can never be anything different than that. And that is absolutely not true. You have the power within yourself to create something new, to change directions, to change your mind, to change the world if you decide that you want to. So I truly believe that, and I truly feel like the fact that human beings are creative and that human beings have ideas, and that I think innately human beings are kind and compassionate and want to help. By and large, I feel like that's who we are as a humanity. And I think that that's at the heart of all of us. And the desire to create is part of that lives within all of us. And I'm still learning how best to optimize my ideas and create things that are really going to help people with their own process, because that's really what I love to do. And this is just my next iteration of that and my next version of what I feel like I've been doing all along, but I'm hoping to just be able to scale it and create something that's more sustainable for my own ways of working as I develop my own creative process and understand better what works for me, because I realize that we don't all create in the same ways. We don't all have the same patterns or habits or energy. And so not only are we unique human beings with unique perspectives, we also have really highly unique processes, highly unique creative processes. And I feel like that's part of what Wild Creating these conversations are meant to be. It's sort of like opening a window into the vast number of creative processes that exists, and the vast uniqueness in the genius that we all have. And I think that is what's something that's been key for me is tapping into my own uniqueness and really owning it and finding new ways to own it and letting that difference, that uniqueness, express itself in my work. And I think that's where I am right now, is finding ways that I can let my unique perspective be expressed in the work that I do. And that's a constant work in progress. That is my creative process right now, is finding those opportunities and navigating the fear that inevitably comes up when we try something new. And I'm working through that myself. And I think that's the other part of what I hope Wild Creating will be, is that sense of community. We're in this together, and I think that so many of us have similar intentions with what we're creating and what we're hoping for our own lives. I look back on my path of leaving my corporate job and starting my own business and wanting to incorporate more art and healing into my day-to-day life, and having the time and space to do that. I see so many other people who are interested in the same thing or facing a similar path in terms of their careers and their work in the world. So yeah, let's help each other and support each other and show up for ourselves and each other. So yeah, more to come. I'm glad you're here. Peace.